All right, so once you have your reference photo selected and it's been printed for Unit 2, you're going to grab a couple things. One is going to be a nicer ruler from over by my desk. These are ones that are just for checkout for intermediate classes, so do make sure they get returned. Otherwise, they do have a tendency to either get bent up or disappear with some of our beginning level classes. And then the other things that you're going to grab are going to be a pencil, or if your photo is more on the shadowed, kind of darker spectrum of your value scale, I have some white gel pens over on my desk, and we can use those as well too. And then with the starting process for this, we're going to start by transposing our grid onto our reference photo. So with this, we're going to mark off marks at every inch. As you mark these off, make sure that you are referring to the number that is next to the line. They're going to be taller lines that are next to them. Don't just kind of do a general measurement underneath. And then once you have those initially marked, then what we can do is either do the sides, or usually what I'll do is connect those dots first. So I'm going to establish all of my vertical lines first, marking those in, and then once I have those in, then I'm going to switch sides looking over at my horizontal lines. It's going to be the same process for this. I'm just going to be looking at the line markers for 1 through 7, and then same thing, you'll be connecting the dots between those to get the final grid for your reference. And then I would say just make sure you're taking your time on this step, making sure that you're getting a nice accurate grid, that you don't have lines that are either going slightly diagonal or no longer parallel. So take your time and just measure. Once you have that done, then you can return those smaller rulers to my desk, and then we're going to swap out some supplies as we start to grid off our final paper. And then what you'll grab for the final paper, I'm going to have this larger final paper just at the paper cutter. And then you'll also grab a yardstick. These will be at the very back of the room, by that door that connects over to pottery. And then with this process, it's going to be pretty much the same thing that we did for our reference photo, but since we're doing an enlargement to that larger scale, we're going to do a grid that is 3 inches instead of just 1 inch. So I'm going to mark at, for this this vertical side, I'm going to mark at 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. I'm going to do that on both sides and then connect those dots. And then you'll notice on here that I'm drawing a little bit darker than I would normally, just so that you can see what I'm doing. I would say draw as lightly as possible when you start these initial lines. And then it's going to be same process for that other side. You're going to be looking at incorporating that 3-inch grid. So looking at every 3 inches. So for this one, we're going to be looking at the 24 inches total. So we'll be marking at 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, and 3. And then same process of doing that on both sides, connecting those dots together. And then same thing, just make sure that you are just kind of double checking, make sure measurements look good. You're holding down your yardstick firmly so that doesn't shift on you. But then you want to have that nice square grid for both your reference and for your final paper. This will bring us to that next step for tomorrow of starting either initial sketch or starting to look at starting in with final materials square by square. But that'll be it for today, looking at getting both those gridded off.